Traveling used to be just about getting from point A to point B, but probably dying at sea because you were attacked by wolves, killed by pirates, or got gangrene in your legs. Nowadays, travel is all about the how, not the why. So whether it's over land, across the sea, or through the sky, we want a vehicle that does more than simply move about. It needs to do it with style, or just be super weird. We also invite you to take a short but thrilling adventure to the subscribe button. You can ask for directions in the comments if you get lost. Hot tub car. I'm sure many of you know how frustrating it can be to have to leave the comfort of your private jacuzzi just to go buy milk or pick up drive-thru. Life is just so hard sometimes. Bill Weaker and Duncan Forrester came to the rescue though, by converting a 969 Cadillac Coupe de Ville into a hot tub on the move for hot tub lovers with things to do and people to see. Just don't ask where they keep their license and registration. We hope you've been inspired to go out and create a wacky vehicle of your own. Whether that's just getting creative with some spray paint on your parents' Volvo, or finally creating that chariot for cats that you've always dreamt of. Jean Berton. In the 60s, the monorail was held up as the transport of the future. Sky trains that would whip around the country at unimaginable speed, probably full of beautiful people and free cheese. But French engineer Jean Berton actually created the aerotrain that was well ahead of its time. Where modern superfast trains use magnetism to lift the trains off the track, Berton used the down-facing engines to create a cushion of air, then another set to propel it forwards. It reached an impressive 214 miles per hour, but it was never backed by the French government as they feared it would overtake the state-owned railway. Monorail, non-rail. Nemeth parasol. Another old-fashioned vehicle now, but the Nemeth parasol was cutting-edge technology at the time. It was designed to tackle the problem of short takeoff and landing space, and the plane itself was small enough to fit in a regular household garage. Its circular wings made it very easy to control, and it's been said that anyone could learn to fly it in around 30 minutes. During its test flight, it was purposely stalled mid-air and drifted down to Earth almost vertically, as the wing acted much like a parachute. Despite all this, they only ever made the one prototype, possibly because there was a lot of drag, or perhaps the government wasn't ready to deal with all the extra UFO reports they'd have to deal with. It was hard enough hiding all the Roswell aliens. The Never Was Hall. Inspired by the work of classic science fiction writers like Jules Verne and H.G. Wells, this steampunk mobile home may only manage 5 miles an hour and requires around 10 people to stare out the various windows and navigate, but it will put every other vehicle in the trailer park to shame. Built for the Burning Man Festival, the Never Was Hall is steered by a full-size ship wheel and has its own parlor with a library and even a bar, although it's managed to avoid any DUIs so far. Honda's self-balancing motorbike. While self-driving cars have slowly become a reality as we enter Emperor Elon Musk's future world, I don't think many of us expected the same thing to happen with motorbikes. Not only can the Honda's new bike self-balance, making riding much safer for riders, but it can also follow you around the house like it's been haunted by your old dog. There are no gyroscopes, as these are very heavy. Instead, the computer on board takes over control at very low speeds and moves the wheels to balance the rider's movement. It can also take itself for a walk and won't sit on the couch. Aluminum foil Porsche. For many years, the Porsche has been famous for its speed, its power, and its price, typically clocking in at around $100,000 these days. The Ferdinand GT3 RS is none of these, as this Porsche knockoff barely manages 5 miles per hour around the Salzburg racetrack. Austrian Johann Langeder built the replica for just 13,000 euros, using a pedal cart, hardboards, and aluminum foil to give it that luxury finish. Johann says that although it lacks speed, it manages 0 emissions and an impressive 24 years. The air conditioning is also excellent, as it doesn't have a floor. There's even a passenger seat, because why splash out for a sports car if you can't use it to pick up? Topsy-turvy bus. You know that old saying, you wait hours for a bus and then 2 come along at once. Well, that's every passenger's experience at a topsy-turvy bus stop. The idea actually came from Ben & Jerry's ice cream co-founder Ben Cohen, as a comment on the US government's priorities. To him, they seemed completely upside down. He commissioned art card maker Tom Kennedy to make the beast, and it's now owned by Hazon, an environmental organization. They love it so much that they've ordered another one, or should we say another 2. Every sinking boat. Julien Berthier apparently never heard the story of the boy who cried wolf, and will probably end up drowning in a harbor while the Coast Guard roll their eyes and deal another handful of cards. His boat is named Love, and from the surface looks like she's had a terrible accident and the nose has already sunk below the waves. But pull it out of the water and you'll see it's been sliced in half and a new hull has been created to keep it floating in this position. It has a motor to guide it around and it's surprisingly stable despite its appearance. Rhino. The Rhino is basically a Segway on steroids. Where the Segway makes you look like an office assistant from 10 years in the future, the Rhino turns you into a Mad Max warrior who drinks oil for breakfast. What a lovely day. It's actually nowhere near as terrifying as it looks, and you lean forwards and backwards to accelerate and brake, rather than traditional motorbike handle throttles. The battery will give you a range of about 10 miles, which will take you about an hour. For math fans, that means makes its speed. That's right, 10 miles an hour. You get a gold star. Tank Limo. The tank is an all-terrain vehicle designed to get heavy artillery deep into war zones. A London company called Tanks-A-Lot has kept up with this tradition by welding together armored personnel carriers to create a tank limousine that can bring the destructive power of a bachelorette party to any terrain. Thanks to this innovation, even the most hard-to-reach places can be sieged by penis-shaped balloons, regurgitated margaritas, and arguments over which club to go to. All this joy can be yours for just $5,000 a night. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments if you can outdo us with an even stranger vehicle that you've seen or created. And don't forget to go full throttle on the subscribe button so you never miss a video from. Catch you again soon.